Yakuza tattoos are specific to each member of the Japanese mafia. They represent what the person wants to show the world. For example, Yakuza samurai tattoos are very popular because they show that the individual is a warrior at heart, who does not let fear alter his choices. This Japanese style of tattooing usually covers the entire body, from the shoulders to the legs. The vast majority of these tattoos focus on Shinto mythology and Yakuza history. One of the sources of inspiration for this highly codified art are the ancient woodcuts dating back hundreds of years, which have always served as the basis of inspiration for the colorful tattoos. At the time, the tattoo artist was often the woodcut artist himself, and used the same techniques used for woodcut art. The artist would begin by carving designs into the client's skin using Nara ink, Nara being the area where the famous ink stick originated. This ink has a peculiarity. It turns a blue-green color when it is under the skin. The dragons, tigers, and flowers used for Yakuza tattoos come from a story novel called Suikoden. Also, the Yakuza believed that the stronger the pain, the higher the member's commitment to the group and the cause. This is one of the reasons why Yakuza tattoos cover the entire body. The Yakuza tattoo is a very popular way to show off your skills. The Yakuza tattoo is a real ritual. They would even ask people to watch them get tattooed, as a witness to their commitment, like a wedding witness. Afterwards, they would display their artwork only to other members of the various Yakuza clans. In Japan, there was a strict caste system enforced by the shogun who suppressed those of the Borakumin, meaning hamlet, village people, class the most. Some of them were criminals, while others worked at jobs that no one wanted to do in Japanese society at the time. They faced extreme discrimination from the government and upper class. They were forced to work in the streets of the city. They were forced to stick together to survive. That is why the family spirit is very present in these mafia groups. In the middle of the Edo period of Japanese history, 1603 to 1868, there were two main Borakumin groups, both of lower rank in society, which later formed the basis of the early Yakuza. The Tikia were a group that stole or swindled goods and sold them, and the Bakuto Hanafuda players operated illegal gambling operations. From Bakuto came the tradition of cutting off the first joint of the little finger to punish a group member for doing something wrong. This was done to instill fear and loyalty to the boss. Also, if a Yakuza member wanted to leave the gang for any reason, they would lose their little finger and thus would still be considered a former Yakuza. During this time, people from the lower castes of society were developing their own tattoos, called irazumi. These are the basis of Japanese decorative tattoos. These groups used punitive tattoos affixed to the forehead, intended for outlaws, and created a new tattoo. These tattoos of criminals were placed in visible places so that each criminal would not find work and would be on the bangs of society as much as possible. The objective was that they could no longer escape their social rank. At that time, the Yakuza was becoming a well-known group and tattoos were banned in Japan and only criminals or outlaws had tattoos. The Japanese culture Yakuza grew to enormous proportions despite the repressions, and they existed in hiding, tattooing and learning to live better in a society that did not put them in its good graces.